Here to discuss today, former Ford chief CEO, CNBC contributor, and senior advisor to TPG, Mark Fields. Mark, great to have you. This was interesting the second time, the third time, now 5 times. What is the calculus here? What are they thinking?
Well, I think overall, as you mentioned, Carl, this is about the 5th time they've cut prices and the 2nd time they've cut broad-based across the product lineup. And I think, overall, this is, Musk has said he is willing to sacrifice margins to keep the growth rate going. And if you think about the growth, their first quarter sales and deliveries, they grew about 36%, which was down from the 40% growth that they had last year, full year, which again is down from their goal of growing about 50% each year. So I think overall they're looking at demand. They're also probably playing, listen, they have a better gross margin than some of the established automakers. And I think Musk is saying, listen, I'll put the squeeze on them. I'll grow my my overall share, and that'll have benefits down the road from brand loyalty, parts and service business, et cetera. But I think that's the calculus that he and Tesla are taking.
Yeah, so a lot of analysis of the cost structure we already understand and the advantage they have from a margin standpoint. How do others react? Can they afford to follow these?
Well, I think what you're seeing, some of the established automakers did follow some of the price cuts. I think Ford did, but folks like VW and Hyundai Kia did not. I think the way they, they're a bit in a bind in their first generation products. The margins aren't very good. Probably most of them are negative. But a lot of them are working on, next generation platforms and next generation products. For example, Ford is building a brand new facility in Tennessee, and they say that's going to allow them to cut their manufacturing and engineering costs significantly and their the piece costs. So I think you're going to see this play out over time. But for the time being, Tesla does have a major advantage with the margins they have versus the established automakers and even the startups who are, I think, in really difficult times over the next 12 to 24 months.
Enough to justify the valuation, Mark? That's always the question on Tesla, right? They have to dominate this market, don't they?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Sarah, as you know, by any kind of established measure of how you value a company, it doesn't make sense. But I think, a lot of the retail investors are betting on this growth long term. I mean, if you think about it, their price earnings ratio is, the beginning of the year was 20. Now it's about 45. And again, if you used established measures, Tesla would literally have to garner the lion's share of EV profits in the industry, much like Apple does in the cell phone arena. And that's a big stretch, but I think right now investors are betting on that. But you're seeing the stock react over the last couple of days because of these successive price cuts, which may put in their mind, hey, is Tesla turning into just another automaker with a lot of these price cuts?
Finally, the Megapack factory. Explain why that's important. What's the fallout from this?
Well, it's interesting. The Megapack, they're going to build cells for grid scale energy storage. So it's a much smaller type of market than building batteries for EVs. But this is important. I think this is a strategic move by Tesla, not only to fulfill Musk's ambition of getting the world to be carbon neutral, but also, if you think about the geopolitics right now and the trade tensions and the geopolitical tensions between China and the U.S., I think by Tesla making this investment, again, another one in a strategic industry in China, will insulate them to some degree or another if, in fact, there's any kind of trade sanctions that China places on U.S. companies if the U.S. government starts, continues to put some sanctions and some trade barriers in there. So I think this is a little bit of insurance policy for them, but also at the same time, a market that's small but could grow significantly.